Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing Cow in the 5-minute pool on ICC. Let's open with knight f3, followed by d4, and we're transposing into a Slav or a QGD, most likely. Okay, let's play knight c3. I'll opt for the main line. Bishop g4, I thought that move was suspicious for some reason. Let's play knight e5 and attack that bishop. e6, okay, so they're allowing us to just take the bishop pair with no compensation, I would say, whatsoever. But maybe, I mean, I've never seen this line, but that doesn't mean it's bad. All right, e4, attacking the bishop, or the knight on g4, rather. And let's continue with e5. Or do I want to take first and then play e5? Nah, probably e5 immediately. This looks entirely experimental from black. Let's play bishop to d3, just developing. Maybe they'll take, bishop takes, and play knight b6. They could think about playing c5 and maybe trying to wreck my pawn structure in the center. But in doing so, they're taking some liberties with their development. I don't know, though. d5, let's say knight takes e5, bishop b5 check. You get some nice compensation out of that. d5, knight takes e5 check. I like that. Seems like the way to proceed. If I had just castled or something, they would take. So,
check.
Okay, so now let's give this check. And then I'll be looking to take here. Open lines. Queen h5 check g6, but then I have queen takes e5. And that's just an absolute disaster. Okay, so I might have close to a forced win. I'll have to think about this for a second. So queen h5 check, they have to play king e7, which looks awful. Okay, I'm just going to do that because...
Check.
I guess they could play knight g6. They also have knight g6 here. But if knight g6, maybe castles, trying to get a quick rook d1 in. Yeah, let's castle. If a6, I'm thinking maybe bishop back to d3 and attack g6 a couple times. I don't have to take on d7 immediately. Taking on d7 could also be good, but bishop to d3 seems even better. Yeah, let's do that. That's a hard piece to defend, right? If queen f6, knight e4, or bishop g5, even stronger. Could they really go something like queen f6, bishop g5, queen f7? That move I didn't see. Forgot about that one. Okay, let's play bishop e4. Take a look at that pawn on b7. f4 is the threat now, too. Drive away that knight. Maybe they have to play queen h4 and offer a queen trade. That might be the only way to proceed. And if queen h4, I could trade and then take on b7. Or I could play queen e2, try to keep queens on the board, and continue playing for the initiative. Yeah, I know bishop g4 is possible on move 4. I was under the impression it was good for white after knight e5. Never seen that e6 and just give up the knight on g4 idea, though. So if f4, they're going to play knight f7, I believe. What if bishop f4? Bishop f4 looks pretty good. Using the pin. Bishop f4 castles queenside. Maybe bishop g5 is even better. If bishop f4 castles queenside, I can just take g6 then. That just wins material. Yeah, let's do that. What if bishop d6? Then I could take e5, bishop takes e5, bishop takes g6, h takes g6, queen takes g6, but they have queen f7 at the end, and that's not so bad for black. In fact, they're probably fine. So bishop d6, I might need something like rook ad1, maybe bishop back to g3. Hmm. I'd hate to let him slip away after bishop d6 and then like castle short, but guess we'll find out. Bishop d6, rook ad1, castle. Yeah, they castle that way, but here I just have this move, don't I? Take. Yeah, that just wins material. Well, here I could take the rook or the knight. Probably take the knight. It's simpler. And if bishop d6, I have queen takes e6 check. I don't think there was much wrong with taking the rook either, but this way looks pretty good. Okay, knight e4. Attacking the rook and defending b2. No compensation for the piece. f4 looks good. Keep that bishop on a great square. Take that pawn. Bishop f6, just trading. Let's play knight g5, actually. I'm going to try to attack this pawn. Because if they play rook takes g5, I have bishop f6. That's the point. So you want to trade now. Okay. Bring this rook over. Rook e6 is an idea. Play h4. Yeah, they want to get those pawns rolling. So c4, I'll play b3 and undermine. Let's bring this back. Okay, I'll give it a check. And then maybe play rook to d8. Let's just bring the king up for now. Get the king involved. Always good to do. I got about a minute to win this. But that shouldn't be a problem. Nothing much for black to do. Come here. Attacking both these pawns. Let's give it a check. Now they lose the g6 pawn too.
Check.
Give it a check. Just roll this pawn.
Check.
I don't mind losing the a2 pawn. Makes almost no difference. h7, g6. My bishop's hanging for the moment if I play g6, so let's play this back. And then g6 on the next move. I'll just let them take the bishop.
Check.
Let's give it a check here.
Check.
Queen would check. All right, and they resign. So a very suspicious opening for black. That cannot be recommended, I don't think. Let's go back and have a look at it. So knight c3, and so bishop f5 is a move that gets played every once in a while here, and that's bad in view of c takes d5, c takes d5, queen b3, attacking d5 and b7. There's actually been some players who have tried to make this work for black, but it's not great. But bishop g4, if white plays by analogy with that last line, like say c takes d5, then black can insert this capture on f3 and double up white's pawns and then take here. And now queen b3 isn't quite as good as it was before. I think black can play queen d7 and guard both of these pawns. Whereas Before, had they played queen d7, white would have that knight primed to jump into e5 and harass the queen. Whereas here, it doesn't work. So hence why after bishop g4, I played knight e5. Yeah, and e6. I was thinking they would try to drop the bishop back somewhere, but e6 just kind of gifts me the bishop pair. And then I get to play e4 with a discovered attack on the knight. Here, e5. Maybe knight e4 is more active, but if knight e4, I could always play bishop d3. So here, bishop d3, take. I thought they might play knight b6 and try to play to blockade the d5 square. c5 is provocative. I mean, they're trying to undermine my structure, but black is so behind in development, and I also possess the bishop pair, plus the ability to break open the structure with this d5 move, so I'm skeptical whether they can pull this off. Let me just see what the computer thinks. Yeah, it very much likes d5. And even in the case of knight b6, it says that white's doing pretty well. I'd probably play bishop d3. Oh no, but the pawn hangs. Okay, queen takes d4. So I'd have to play bishop b3 or maybe bishop e2 instead. But even still, the engine prefers white with the bishop pair. Makes sense. So c5, I played d5. Yeah, because some other move, like trying to defend this structure, is not a great idea. It's in the spirit of the position to open it up, and I'm willing to offer the e5 pawn to clear lines and get at their king. So knight takes e5.
Check.
Here I went check. Queen a4 is not a move I saw.
Check.
That makes sense, though. Point being, if queen d7 to block the check, then bishop b5, and I win a piece in the game. So they would have to block with one of their knights. Yeah, like say knight bd7, and then I can take here. And then take here, and I have a free attack. I haven't even had to invest any material. Oh yeah, and there's bad stuff that could happen to black, like queen e7, I have knight d5. And if they take the bishop, knight
Check.
c7. Family fork. Okay, so queen a4 could be an improvement over
Check.
bishop b5 check, although this also led to some great play for me. Take and then
Check.
castles. Oh no, I checked, but the computer likes castling better.
Check.
Yeah, I didn't see knight to g6 for some reason. Pawn g6 is just losing because of queen takes e5 using the pin. And I was trying to figure out what happens if king e7, and I figured I would just be doing awesome here. Yeah, bishop g5 check, knight f6, rook d1, and white is crushing. But somehow I didn't see knight g6. Even here bishop g5 is good. I just castled instead. Why is bishop g5 so strong? Oh, probably because I'm getting my rook to d1 quickly. Okay, with an attack on d7 without any delay. Yeah, so if bishop e7, I would probably just take. I don't know, if takes though, they have rook to d8 and they can defend. Or even castles queenside. So bishop g5, bishop e7, now rook d1. Note that if I castle instead, they get to take on g5 with check. So in this case, it is better to play rook d1. And if bishop takes g5, rook takes d7, and that's game over. Yeah, the queen is trying to defend the bishop, but I have all these discovered attacks that are primed to occur. Black's losing everything there. So I missed some more direct ways to play. I just castled instead. With castling, I was thinking, like, okay, I'm playing a useful move. I can threaten rook d1. So it's still pretty good. a6, kicking the bishop. Here, bishop c4 is better. But I played this. They responded with that, another move that I missed. Knight d to e5. But still good for white. Bishop e4. I thought black's best bet might be to do something like queen h4 and offer a queen trade. And this ending is excellent for white, this queenless middle game. I've equalized the material. Black still has a bunch of weak pawns, and their development is in question too. So I would have been okay going for that. I was thinking like maybe even play queen e2 and keep the queens on, but probably I would have played queen takes h4. But instead they played queen c7. I played bishop f4. This seemed like a good move. And then castles queenside. So that's really all the best that black has, huh? Oh, so if bishop d6, I can just take e5 and then take on g6.
Check.
That's a good point. On bishop d6, for some reason I was fixated on playing rook a d1 and attacking, but I don't even have to resort to that. Just take here.
Check.
Yeah, they can't recapture because of queen takes. Huh. So it was more straightforward than I thought at various times when I was executing this attack. So black just really has no defense to the bishop takes e5 threat, and then g6 is falling. Makes sense. I don't see anything they can really do here. And if they play queen f7 trying to break the pin, I just take, and then take on e5. Clean piece. Maybe something like... not even a move like rook g8 helps. I can still take, because after queen takes, bishop
Check.
takes with check, and then I pick up the queen. So, yeah, that's over. So they castled, and then I just won a piece. I probably played this excessively cautious. I took on h8. I could have taken on h8, but I took on e5 and just banked the piece. But it's a difference, as you can see, between +6 and +4.5. Somehow taking e5 and like killing his only dangerous-looking piece was more natural to me. I mean, at queen takes h8, I would have to, I don't know, deal with some like knight f3 check calculations. This doesn't really seem to bother white too much, though. I mean, black might be trying to play bishop d6, but I'm up a pure rook, practically. But here I just get to trade the queens and up a clean piece in the endgame. No compensation from black. I was moving a little bit slow, but when you're +4.5, even a minute or a minute and a half is an eternity. Yeah, I don't think the rest was all that interesting.
Check.
Black was playing on and probably just playing for time. That's about it.
Check. Check. Check.
So, yeah, I think this opening was just way too risky for black.
Check.
I don't like the concept of
Check.
losing the light square
Check.
bishop and then losing all the tempos, too, when I was attacking that knight. e4, knight f6, e5. Probably c5 is too dangerous for black. I mean, their position's not great otherwise, but this just invites me to attack with d5. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this game. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.